Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend a little time with us today. We are amongst the rainy season, so it seems. So in between rain showers, I think Andy and the kids are going to go do a little work in the garden. And tonight for supper, I've had a hankering for my favorite meal. So I think I'm going to fix some Fatback and some October beans and a little cornbread. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do a fresh strawberry pie or a fresh strawberry cobbler. So that is to be determined.
I told her either one sounded good to me. She said, which one do you want? I said, they both sound great.
Yeah.
So whichever one you'd rather cook.
But anyways, you better hurry up.
Yeah, I know. So me and Maggie and Jacob are going to just add in a few more seeds to the garden. Y'all probably remember when we planted the cucumbers that our cucumber seeds that I planted that day were from 2020. Well, they were packed for 2020. And, well, as I suspected, they never did germinate. So, we're going to replant the cucumbers right fast. I actually ended up going through I went through our stash and found some for 2023. So, hopefully, those seeds are still good. And I'm actually getting a little bit concerned about our green beans as well. Like, I'm seeing a few spots like this where the ground's busting open. And right there's the bean. But they're just not coming up. Like, it's been, well, right there's one. So maybe I shouldn't get worried about it just yet. But they're not coming up as quick as most of the time green beans come up. That could be related to the fact that we had an extremely heavy downpour, like 9/10 of rain within like 20 to 30 minutes, and it packed the ground to the point that it's making it hard for those seeds to come up.
Hey, look.
Those are pretty, ain't they?
There's also brown, purple, and white.
So we've got cucumber seeds, we've got some squash seeds that we saved, and we have these beans right here that a subscriber sent us that they call October beans as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put those in the garden today too. I know nothing about those. Megan actually knows a little bit more about those than I do. I just know that we want to go ahead and plant them, and hopefully they do well for us, because the people who sent them to us said that they really, really love these beans. Anyways, I don't even know if they're a bush bean or if they're a vining type bean. I really don't know, and I guess we'll find out once they start growing. But I've got to quit talking and get to work because I'm starting to feel raindrops.
I am too.
So we got a Market More seed. We're just planting a couple hills of that. I found some white cucumbers. I'm gonna plant like 1 or 2 hills of these, and then the rest is these pickling cucumbers. Like I said, these are packed for 2023, so hopefully they get the job done this time. And you know, something I would like to say about old seeds is it doesn't always mean that they're not good when they don't germinate. The thing of it is, as seeds get older, they lose their vigor. And so if we'd have put these seeds in like a seed starting mix where it was extremely easy for them to push through, they could have potentially came up and done just fine. But being they were out here in, you know, the garden soil, and the garden soil is not quite as soft as a seed starting mix, then they just don't have the energy to sprout and push through. So it's going to be interesting to see once we dig out these spots if we come across that seed and if it is germinated or not. But cucumbers should typically germinate in anywhere from 3 to 10 days, and these have been in the ground for 10 days, and I haven't seen any signs at all, so I'm just redoing it.
Put three in the ground at a time.
Yeah, put about 3 or 4 in each hole. I don't see any seeds. Y'all, check out my little digger here. Went to the dollar store the other day, or I guess the $1.25 store now. This was one of those little hand rakes, but I bought it and broke the outside tines off of it just so I could make me like a single tine digger. And that thing was what, $1.25?
Yeah.
Ain't that what it was?
But then I turned that little piece into a plow for my toy.
Yeah, Jacob took the rake piece off and he took that and made a plow out of it. But anyways, I had just wanted a single tine digger. You know, you're always using a stick or something like that to do that kind of stuff with. Well, I got me one for $1.25. Now, Jacob, you go back behind and cover those up. Now, don't put them very deep. That could have also been the problem we had last time, as we put them in the ground too deep.
You didn't put none in this hole.
Maggie, you're not putting none in that front hole?
Yes, I didn't realize I was right there. That's that one. The other one. Whoa here, whoa.
And the other thing that made me think that these cucumber seeds are probably not going to come up is the ones we planted for Jacob the other day are already up and sprouted and doing their thing. So they were planted the same exact day. So it kind of felt like if these were going to come up, they would have been up.
When were these cucumbers packaged?
Those are for 2023.
No,
right there's one.
I'm talking about the ones that you just found.
Hey, that one right here is actually about to come up.
What about, like, when were those? The ones that are old?
2020.
Oh.
Yep, that one right there is starting to push through.
You should leave that one.
I am. So we're liable to have them coming up thick in here. Them old seeds may eventually come up. I might have just got impatient. I dug them out right there, so maybe they may try to come on with it now. Right there's one, but it's almost like they've just run out of strength and can't push through. We'll put a couple more of these Market More seeds out here.
Daddy.
What? Yeah. And then we'll plant these two hills right here in the white cucumber. Hey, you didn't finish covering them up.
We didn't?
Right there, son.
Oh, yeah. Daddy,
Uh-huh.
how do seeds that just fall out of plants, how do they come up? Because they're not buried in the ground.
They just do, honey. So the reason I want to plant another hill of squash is because, like you've heard me say, I'm just not impressed with how these plants right here are doing. So I'm going to put in at least one more hill, and it's not going to hurt to have it somewhat set on a rotation anyways. We'll have some coming in later than these. Right there's those right now, and while they look good, they just don't have that dark green color that I want to see. They're not growing vigorously like squash tend to do. Take you a couple of seeds.
Do we need a digger?
I got it in my hand.
Pumpkin seeds.
No, these are squash. We saved these squash seeds. These are from our squash last year.
They look like pumpkin seeds.
Drop a couple in the hole right there.
They look like pumpkin seeds.
But maybe when we do it, maybe there'll be two colors. There'll be zucchini and squash color.
All right. Go ahead and cover them up. It's starting to rain.
Come on, Meagan, we got hurry.
Put the rest of them in that hole.
There we go. All we need was
That's
a
all you
seal.
need. All right, Jacob, here you go. So the rest of this row right here will probably be okra. And then I think we're going to finish out this row right here with those volunteer pepper plants that I showed y'all in a past video. And they can actually be part of the Florida weave that we use to hold up the tomatoes. Hey, bring me my hoe.
Where is it?
All right.
Oh,
Guys, come on.
Come on, Meg.
I'm gonna make me a row coming right here, and then we'll still have room for another row up there and another row up there or something. These will be them beans that we got.
Which one? The purple ones?
The purple beans.
Okay. Let me get them out.
Yeah.
so I had to put my way.
I mean, do we put them thick or thin?
I don't know.
Well, let's just try planting them thin.
I need some.
Ah.
I made you drop it.
Hold the bag and shut it. Hold the
Yeah,
bag.
do not let moisture get in that bag.
It'll make, what'll it do?
It'll ruin them seeds.
To make them grow in there?
We'll just plant one row of them right here just in case.
Hey, quit doodle.
something happens and they don't do good, we'll have extra seeds. We don't want to plant all of our seeds at one time.
There we go. Let's cover them up.
Golly, you're covering up like a cloud. You think they go get no rain? No, I got them sick.
Good.
There we go.
Hey, right there. Cover up that end right there a little better. I still see a bean. There you go. Perfect. All right, y'all. I think we got that done just in time because
It's raining!
y'all probably can't tell it, but the rain's starting to come down. Jacob, you better wash your feet off before you go back in the house. You got them cucumber seeds?
Yeah.
I'll shut the gate behind us.
All right. Run back to the porch.
I got these seeds. Come on, Tyler.
Sit out here on the porch for a minute, let them dry before you go back in.
Tyler, you're back in the box.
Maybe that's Toto. Maybe Toto loves it.
So, we beat the rain. It's just now starting to come
I'll
down.
say your shirt's a little wet.
Like I said, it's just starting to come down. Actually, it looks like it might be coming on down pretty good now. But anyways, what I wanted to tell you is I only planted one row of those beans just in case this rain packs the land down
Oh,
so hard they don't
because we
all
don't
come
have-
up, because that's the only seeds we have.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to lose them all.
I'm so excited about them.
So I planted one row of those, and we still have enough that we could probably plant another short row. I planted 2 more hills of yellow squash with our seeds, so who knows, they may not even come up.
Yeah, I did that, so I don't even know if I done it right.
I mean, they may not come up, and if they don't, whatever. And then the cucumbers. I'm starting to wonder if I didn't just plant the cucumbers too deep to begin with.
Oh yeah, you planted them without my supervision.
I know, I didn't have you there to tell me what to do.
I thought you was the gardening man.
Well, the only reason I say
I'm
that is
just-
I only found like 2 or 3 hills that actually looked like it had a seed trying to germinate.
Well, we were questionable if they were even going to come up anyway.
I know.
They're old.
Well, that's what I was saying is when seeds get old like that, they can germinate, and if they were in some good loose soil, they would push through it. But if they're not in good loose soil, they don't have enough energy to push through.
Well,
And I think where I had them so deep, I bet they just didn't have the oomph.
it's been cool too. Though.
And it has been cool. But
Yeah.
Jacob's seeds are already up.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, that's what I'm comparing it to. Jacob's cucumber seeds are up and looking good, and ours.
Yeah, ain't doing
Ain't.
nothing. Yeah.
But I did find several that were not safe.
And it come that hard rain.
I think that could have attributed to
Yeah.
it too. But Jacob's also went through that hard rain.
That's true. That's true.
So,
Well, luckily, I mean, we're so early in the season, it's totally fine. So, we're getting ready for supper. So, when I freeze my Fatback, and if you don't know what that is,
this part of the hog.
yeah,
Right.
and it's the part where you make bacon, but it's the upper part.
Right.
Where you
It's the
make-
more fatty part.
Yeah. And so, you may also hear it referred to, my granny always called it streaky meat.
And Midland meat.
Midland
Ain't that
meat.
about the same too?
Yeah, that's Midland meat. But we salt them down, and I just freeze it in chunks because usually by the time the Fatback is ready, we've already put the slicer up for the year, and like,
Well, it ain't worth getting a slicer out for that.
yeah. So Andy's a slicing it for me, and we leave it about mostly froze. It makes it a whole lot easier to slice. But I am excited.
I know why you like working right here all the time.
Yeah, it's a pretty view.
You got the best view around.
I know.
Just look straight out there at that garden. I'm pretty sure that corn's grew since this morning. This rain, I believe, is.
It's really perked it up, hasn't
Yep,
it?
it has.
I'm gonna run down the basement while you're doing that and get my October beans.
All right.
Boy, ain't that gonna be good.
It's your kind of meal, ain't it?
Heck yeah, I gotta eat it every day of the week, even on Sundays.
Even on Sundays. You'll get more slices out of this than I thought you would. You can tell it's froze harder right here in the middle, though. It's a little tougher to slice. that one up.
Is it still slicing okay?
Yeah. You can just, like I said, you can tell it still froze right here.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it was thawed out, it'd be awfully greasy and hard to cut.
It would, yeah. Now, there's going to be several slices right here.
Well, each piece I did about that same size square, but you know, some of it's got the lean in it and some of it don't.
Now, what else did you say you have in October beans? You want me to cut this into chunks? Or are we going to do this?
Yeah, you got too far into it.
Yeah, I cut myself. I keep trying to slice it.
Oh, well, season them up just fine.
Yeah, and y'all, if you've never had a bean with a piece of salted meat in it,
Yeah.
you ain't never eat a bean.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's the only way beans are fit to eat.
Yeah. And so what I'm fixing with it, you heard me say October beans. And if you don't know and you hadn't been around, October beans, in my opinion, and I know Andy thinks they're better than pintos. I have them right up there. They're right beside of pintos in my book.
I think they're better. They're like leftover pintos. They get creamy like a leftover pinto.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They are so creamy like leftover pintos. And we absolutely love them here. And a lot of folks grow they got a bunch of names. Cranberry beans.
Cranberry beans, Taylor horticulture beans.
Tapazio beans.
Tapazio beans. Supremo bean is the variety we planted this year.
Yeah, that's what Hoss carries. Or this time, this is what he carries. But pintos don't grow around here. They don't grow good at all. And people back in the day, that's why people started growing October beans. The October beans, they thrive here, I think. Don't you?
I think they do good.
They do really good here. And so that's what we grow, and we don't grow pintos, so we eat October beans.
Well, I'm excited to see what them October beans I planted this morning do, because they're not the same kind of bean. I mean, even though those people call them October beans, they're not. It's obviously not the same kind of bean, because those beans were huge.
Yeah, and they're a little different color.
Yeah,
they're colorful.
pretty.
They're colorful like those.
Yeah, but they don't look the same. That is a huge bean.
Well, from my understanding, those are some really old seeds.
Yeah.
From a long time ago.
That people have, down.
Yeah, that they've saved for a very long time. So I'm really looking forward to
seeing how those go.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
All right. And I have decided strawberry cobbler versus strawberry pie tonight. We decided we wanted some strawberry cobbler. But the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my October beans going. First and foremost, I like to just let them just plumb cook to death. They'll cook till everything else is ready. Then we'll get started on our cornbread, and then finally we'll fry our fatback. And even though I'm cooking it with salt meat, your beans are still going to need some salt to them. So, salt them beans good. Pepper. And anything else you want to put in there. I'll go out there and get me an onion and throw in there. Oh, it's pouring down rain again though. So it may just be onion powder tonight because Megan ain't going out there. And we'll just let them simmer, like I said, till everything else is done. And the next thing I'm gonna make is my some cornbread. Now I wish I still had some fresh cornmeal from our corn that we grow, But unfortunately, I'm all out until the fall. Everything else, the worst looking ears and everything, if you missed that video, we actually ground all that. That's what we feed to our cows. So I'm going to be using some local cornmeal tonight. But before we get started with our cornbread, we want to put our cast iron skillet, go ahead and put it in our hot oven. This is self-rising cornmeal, so it's a little easier to use than my fresh cornmeal. That is a total learning curve, y'all. I've got several videos out of me attempting to make cornbread with that fresh cornmeal, but the cornbread is totally worth me trying to learn. Then we're going to need about a half a cup of self-rising flour. I'm going to put in an egg. Sometimes I put an egg in there, sometimes I don't. I do like the texture of it a little bit better with an egg in it. We're going to add in some of my homemade buttermilk. Maybe around a cup. I'm kind of eyeing it. And something I have really found that helps the texture and the dryness of your cornbread, if you want to try it, is a spoonful of sour cream. And I really like using it. The next thing I'm going to do is get out my hot pan. And I'm going to put me a good tablespoon of lard in it. A good heaping tablespoon. It's probably like 2 tablespoons. And we're going to put that in there. Stick it back in the oven and let it melt. So now, and this is the way I was taught to do it. I know everybody does it a little bit different, but I'm going to take that hot grease and pour it right into my mixture there. We're going to get that combined. And this is ready for our pan. So real quick before it goes into the oven, I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up. It's already cooking around the edges here where our pan is good and hot. That's going to give us a nice crispy edges with a good nice soft center. I got my oven on 400 degrees. This will probably cook around 30-ish minutes, but I'll keep a check on it. And you know your cornbread is getting close to being done when you can really start smelling it. So I have got me roughly a cup-ish of cored strawberries. So I'm going to add just enough water to cover the bottom of this pan for right now. I mean, not much at all. It don't take much. We're going to cut our heat on. This is just for fresh strawberries. If you're using canned strawberries or something like that, then you don't have to do this step. And then to add to our strawberries, I'm going to sprinkle a tablespoon of sugar. And I'm just going to let them cook down until the strawberries start getting soft enough that I can mash them. Now, for our strawberry cobbler, for our bread mixture, it's so easy, y'all. A cup of self-rising flour, a cup of sugar, a cup of milk, and a half a stick of melted butter. That's close to a half stick, I reckon. And my strawberries have gotten really soft, made more juice That's exactly what I want them to do. I'm just gonna kind of go through and mash them up a little bit. Just a little. Pour in our melted butter. I hope y'all can tell like how yellow that butter is. It's almost neon. So we're just gonna get all this mixed together. It's gonna be lumpy. It's gonna be a little thin. And that's fine. Totally normal. Now we've got our 9x13 pan here. You can do it in a smaller pan if you like thicker cobblers, but we like them thin. I'm gonna take my strawberry mixture and try to evenly pour juice and all through my cobbler. And that's how you make strawberry cobbler. We're just gonna stick it in the oven with our cornbread. Let it cook around 20 minutes and check on it. It's up to you how brown you let it get on the top. I don't like to let mine get too brown because I found if I let it get good and golden brown on the top, the texture's a little too gummy for us anyway. We like it a little less done than that. So we'll check on it in about 20 minutes. Now on to the star of the show, the Fatback. Do it pretty much like how I do our bacon. You want to cook, if you make your own Fatback from the store may cook up a little different, but low and slow will give you your best result. And if you ain't never had Fatback, you should try it. Things like this, greasy things, I always have people ask a lot how I take care of my cast iron pans and how I keep them so seasoned and conditioned. One little secret, y'all, when I cook greasy things like Fatback or bacon, anything like that, this may freak some people out, but I will leave that grease in there until the next day because I use this pan. This pan right here literally gets used every day. And I will leave that grease, just let it kind of sit in there. Don't know if there's any science behind it or whatever, but I found it works for me. And it seems to keep my pans, well, more conditioned is the only way I know how to put it. And so that's what I'll do with this today when I get done with the Fatback. The last batch that I won't pour the grease off of it. I'll let that grease sit here and get hard, and then I'll wipe it out tomorrow. That's some fine looking Fatback right there. Ooh. Look at that right there. Alright, so the cobbler ended up taking like 25 minutes. So, not too much longer than I thought. Now, the camera usually does a pretty terrible job of picking it up anyway, but I always like to look for it to be brown around the edges here and bubbly on top. That's how we like it. I know a lot of people like it browner than that, but through the years and experimentation, that's our favorite way to eat it. Okay. You got a plate?
I do not.
You want a bowl or a plate?
Yeah. A bowl. All right.
I got a ladle there too if you want some pinto soup.
Good.
You know what Granny always, I always get tickled. I always think about Granny when I cook pintos. Or beans like this.
She loved them.
Well, she did. But the funny thing was that she would go through all the trouble of cooking them, but she didn't eat the beans.
She ate the soup.
She only ate the soup and the cornbread. She would fix a whole big pot of beans and I'd call her and I'd say, what are you doing? Oh, sitting here eating me some pinto soup. That's what she would call it.
I could see her doing that.
Yep, she wouldn't eat the beans. She'd throw the beans away. I always think about her when I was getting Maggie some soup out a while ago.
You can put a little bit of soup in there on mine. I might put a little bit of your chow chow in there and see what it's like.
Once you go to the chow chow, is that all you want? You ain't gonna go back. You'll say, oh my goodness, what have I been missing my whole life?
You reckon?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all, I've been in there this evening going through all of our seed collection, which is massive. I threw away a bunch of stuff that's really old that I knew we'd never plant. And I believe I've come to the determination that we don't need no seeds for the next couple years, at least.
I don't know how we always...
Well, y'all, and thank y'all, because a lot of our viewers have sent a lot of corn seeds over the years. And I'm thinking about planting somewhere or another this year. But it's really hard for me to plant those varieties because I got nowhere to plant stuff and keep it from crossing with something else. And everybody that sent us some kind of corn has told us, a story of how it's a really old line and all, And
we love hearing that, and we don't want it to cross up.
Yeah, I don't want it to cross up with something that we've got planted somewhere. Yeah. And so that's why I haven't planted any of the corn seeds that viewers have sent us, is simply for that reason. But I think this year I might have enough room to maybe squeeze in a couple of rows across the creek. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Have popcorn down there.
We're going to have the popcorn down there, so it'll have to be timed right so it don't cross with the popcorn, or the popcorn don't cross with it.
But just know we really appreciate it. Words honestly can't explain how much we do appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
But just know we hadn't forgot about it. It just sometimes...
We're still holding on to it.
Yeah.
And if the chance ever comes up, better believe I'll plant it so I can make more seed off of it.
That's right.
But just the thing is I want somewhere to plant it that I don't got to worry about it crossing. See, my field corn is crossed up anyways. And I don't want to take this and mix it in with my field corn, and then I'll be lost.
Seeds. Those heirloom seeds, yep. Right. Well, I don't know about you, but that right there is one more fine-looking bowl.
To me, that looks like your kind of meal.
It is. I'll probably come back for more.
I'm going to get just a little bit of chow chow and try it.
All right. You ain't going to dump it on there like I did?
No, probably not. Just give me
Well, it depends on how much juice you want. I get it out with a fork so I can get the chunks. So
I'd rather have a little bit of juice than anything.
We'll pour it then.
There. I'm going to go light to start with.
Well, even if you just put the juice in there, making beans good.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. It's still just a pouring.
Yep. Yeah, good thing we got what outside work we had to do done first thing this morning, because it ain't been a chance since then.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Until we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. Have a one! You are so silly, woman.